Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tips with Toni. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I am live on my Facebook camera, live on my Instagram camera. Once again, Instagram peeps, so sorry. Not going to be looking at you. I apologize. All right, so let's get started. So tonight we're talking about snacking. All about healthy snacking. Snacking on the go, snacking in your car, snacking in your office, snacking at home. Snacking is really important. We hear that it's important. Why is it important? Healthy snacking is what gets us from meal to meal. It's what keeps our metabolism going, and it is what makes us feel good if we're providing our body with nutrient-dense foods. So before we talk about healthy snacking, just a few little housekeeping things. If you have not yet subscribed to the Tips with Toni podcast on your iPhone, so Apple Podcast, on Spotify, Libsyn, YouTube, go do it. And if you feel really nice, write a little review, because the more reviews I get, the better. I know some people are having issues with writing a review, so if you are having an issue, please let me know. So that is just the basic housekeeping things. Thank you so much for those who do listen to the podcast. I really, really appreciate it. I definitely have some new stuff coming out this week and next week. And if you don't get a chance to watch this entire video, don't worry. It does go up on my blog and my YouTube channel as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. The best podcast, highly recommended. Thank you, Melissa. You're the best. Trying to love your post. Okay, thank you. Melissa also listens to the Gym With podcast, which I am on regularly. So, hey, yes, and on the Gym With too. Thank you so much. Yes, so if you listen to the Gym With podcast, I'm on there regularly. Super excited about some future episodes coming up on there. Don't want to give out a spoiler alert, but if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you'll see some exciting things in my story tomorrow, because we're going to be interviewing someone awesome. All right, so anyways, let's go talk about healthy snacking on the go. Some real basic things. I talked about the benefit of snacking, and now what makes a snack a snack? So regardless if it's healthy or not, I consider a snack something smaller than a meal. So usually, typically about 250 calories or less, and something that is just in between your meal times. That's a snack, right? It can be something small, it could be something like a mini meal. That's a snack. Now, how is it actually a healthy snack? Hi, Kim. How is it actually a healthy snack? A healthy snack is going to follow the following parameters. So bear with me. You might want to get a pen and paper. It gets pretty complicated. However, listen, if it's simple, the ingredient list is not very long, or hey, there's no ingredient list at all because it's, say, an apple or a hard-boiled egg. That's simple enough. We know that that can be a nice snack. We don't need to go through the nutrition facts label. However, there are plenty of processed or not really processed, they're just in a packaging form that constitute as a healthy snack. So we're going to go over what those parameters are. So typically, like I said, a snack is usually about 250 calories or less. The reason being because anything that gets closer to that 300 calorie mark then becomes more of like a meal. And then you might be more likely to actually, hey girl, skip your meal, which we know we should not. Skipping meals is not the greatest thing, right? Snacking provides another opportunity for nutrition, but we don't want that to overtake our opportunity for the amount of nutrients we get in a meal, okay? And once again, this is more just for like general nutrition. Athletes, it's gonna be different, right? If you're trying to gain weight and you're trying to gain muscle and you're after a workout, then your calorie snack might be more than that 250 calorie mark. But typically speaking, your snack is about 250 calories or less, unless you're doing like a mini meal program. So this is general. If you want more specific guidelines, send me an email, tipswithtoni@gmail.com. So let's get into it. Calories, 250 calories or less, and I'll get into the specifics of calories in a little bit. There should never be trans fat in anything because trans fat is only made through chemical processing. So if you look on the back of the ingredient list, and even if there's 1 gram of trans fat, that doesn't sound like a lot, but trans fat is directly correlated to heart disease and damaging our heart. So we want that number to be 0, okay? 0 grams trans fat. We do not want our added sugar to be in double digits. A great example of this is non-fat Greek yogurt. Non-fat Greek yogurt normally has 6 grams of sugar. Added sugar would mean that that yogurt usually has about 10, 11 grams in it. Now we know that it probably added some type of syrup to it. So having something like a non-fat plain Greek yogurt with some fresh berries, the berries, yes, there's sugar in there, but it's not added sugar. It's going to have fiber, it's going to have water, it's going to have other nutrients that are going to be much better. So we want to keep the added sugar content to 9 grams or less per serving. And be mindful, if you have 2 servings of that, then you went into the double digits, and that's not what we want to do, okay? So 0 grams trans fat, 9 grams less or less per serving of added sugar. Sodium, if for thinking it's not post-workout, not exercise related, we want to keep the salt or sodium content low, so 140 milligrams or less per serving. So that's your sodium content. If it is something that comes from the ground, meaning it's plant-based, so anything that's not an animal, so popcorn is a good example, crackers or cereal, or trail mix, let's say, we want there to be dietary fiber. If there's no dietary fiber in something that comes from the ground, it means that it was modified or stripped, I guess you could call it, or where that fiber was removed. And dietary fiber is what makes us feel full. We're having a snack to curb our appetite. If we have no dietary fiber in our food, we're not going to feel full. So if you're getting something that's plant-based as a snack and there's no dietary fiber, that means that something was changed about it. So we need to put that down and pick something else that has dietary fiber. You're not going to find fiber in things like yogurt and eggs and cheese or like a turkey roll-up, because naturally that's not going to be occurring. So that's okay. For example, if you have a hard-boiled egg as a snack, there's no fiber, but there's not supposed to be fiber. So we know that that's a natural food and not something that's been processed over time. So therefore, that's fine. Now, with that being said, if your snack is something on the smaller side, and I'm going to talk about how to kind of calculate how many calories to have per snack based off of when you're having it. Say it's like a smaller snack, it's a piece of fruit. There doesn't really need to be protein in fruit. There's no protein in fruit, so you're not going to find protein in fruit. And it's okay if there's no protein in every single thing that you eat, even though you see it added in every single thing out there in the supermarket. Totally fine. However, if it becomes like more of like a mini meal or a larger snack, like around that 250 calorie mark, we don't want it to be all carbohydrate based. So you might want to look for some protein. So maybe at least 5 grams if it's something that's more of like going to be constituted as like a mini meal. All right, so that's going to be what you're looking for from your protein category on the nutrition facts label. Now, let's talk about the calories, okay? So my favorite rule ever is something that I made up. I don't know, maybe I didn't make it up, maybe it's out there, I'm not really sure. But I call it the 100 calorie rule, the 100 calorie per hour rule. What this means is if it's 10 a.m. and you're about to have a snack, and you're deciding what should I snack on, how many calories should it be, this is the rule that I want you to use. The 100 calorie per hour rule is a great method because if you're going to be eating, say, lunch at 11 and it's 10 a.m., then your snack should be about 100 calories or less because you're going to be eating a little bit soon, like you're going to be eating in an hour. So if it's anything more than that, chances are you're not going to be hungry for lunch. You may end up skipping lunch. Or the opposite side of that is if you don't have anything, then you might still overeat. So we want to keep it to about 100 calories or less. Now, if you're going to be having lunch at, say, 12 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock and you're snacking, then we can keep those snacking calories to about 200 calories or less. So you get it 100 calories per hour. So you're going to have a meal in 2 hours. Then you're going to have that snack. It's going to be about 200 calories or less to kind of hold you over. And then third is if it's like you're going to have a snack at 10 a.m., but you're not eating until 1. Now, we don't want it once again, the calories are about 250 calories or less for a snack. So you don't want to have a 300 calorie snack, because then then it's more of like a mini meal. And if that's part of your plan, then fine. But typically we want to then keep it to about 250 calories or less if you're going to be eating about 3 hours later. Now, with that being said, you guys know that quality is always better than quantity. So carrots and hummus, you can get about a cup of carrots, 2 tablespoons of hummus. It's about 150 calories. A much better option than a 100-calorie Oreo pack, right? The carrots and hummus have fiber, added vitamin A, vitamin E, antioxidants. It's going to actually keep you feeling full and satisfied and curb your appetite till mealtime. It provides your body with additional benefits, whereas that 100-calorie Oreo pack or that 100-calorie cookie pack, it's just going to make you want more sweet things. It's not actually doing any service to you. It's not providing your body with any nutrition. It's just giving your mouth like a taste feel, and it's going to want more of that. And it's not actually providing your body with anything good for you. So that's what dietitians we call empty calories. Things like candy, soda, high-calorie foods with no nutritional value, cakes, cookies, stuff like that. No matter what the calorie content is, at the end of the day, it's not really providing your body with fuel. And snacking is part of fueling your body and your mind to keep you going throughout the day. Okay, so we got the calorie content down, quality versus quantity. Those are really important things. Now, what you would think is that therefore would then a sugar-free candy or a diet soda or something completely calorie-free be acceptable as a snack? Hey, Tina! And the answer to that is no. We talked about it in the beginning that the purpose of snacking is to curb your appetite and to provide your body also with nutrition, okay? So having something that has no calories and no nutritional value is not going to, hey, Tina, that doesn't constitute as a snack either, okay? So healthy snacks are going to follow the parameters that I just explained. They're going to be whole foods, natural ingredients. Now, what do you do? How do you apply it? This is the big question. So we know now what a healthy snack is. I'm going to go into the details about examples in a minute. But generally speaking, what strategies can you practice that's actually going to help you in the long run? Number one thing, as you know, with either meal planning, meal prepping, snacking, meals, whatever have you, is planning ahead of time, preparing those foods, making them readily available and readily accessible. A great example of this is if you go to the supermarket and you buy a cantaloupe, healthy, great, could be a great snack. You go home and you leave that cantaloupe on the counter, you never cut it, you never prep it. What do you think it's going to do? It's going to sit there. And it's going to stay there, and you're not going to eat it, and you're going to throw it out, and it's going to go in the garbage. But if you come home, you prep it, you cut it, you scoop it, you put it into cubes, put it in a container, put it in a Ziploc bag, and put it in the part of the refrigerator that is easily visible, then because you did all that work, naturally now when it's time for you to kind of hustle throughout your day, it's going to be quick, easy for you to grab, put it in your lunchbox, take it with you, so it's ready to go. So prepping and planning is really, really important when it comes to sticking to a healthy eating plan, but definitely a healthy snacking plan. All right, so if you know that a good go-to snack for you is hard-boiled eggs, then you want to hard-boil your eggs in the middle of the week and not just put them in your refrigerator with the shell on. You want to shock the shell, put it in cold water. Great tip, really helpful. Peel that off, put them in Ziploc bags, and that way they're ready for you when you're ready to have them, okay? Same thing with vegetables. I make my life a way lot easier. I buy cherry tomatoes, baby carrots, and snap peas. Those are like my go-to vegetables because they'd have minimal prep work. All I have to do is take them out and put them in a Ziploc bag. Really, if I want to just take the bag with me, it's completely fine. However, there are some times, which I do pretty often, is I'll buy things like cucumbers and celery and peppers. And that I do have to then come home, wash them, peel them, cut them, put them in Ziploc bags. However, I find that doing that ahead of time saves me a lot of time in the long run. And then I'm not chasing, running, and trying to figure out what to have, shouldn't I have. And then what could also end up happening is you might do really well at avoiding temptation, which is great, right? And then instead of grabbing, say, like a donut or a muffin or some cookies or whatever it is, because you didn't prepare, you might also do the other thing is just not eat anything, and then you go a very long time without eating, but then at your mealtime you overcompensate and you overeat. So although you had great intentions by avoiding the processed foods, the high sugar foods, the high salt foods, all of those things, you then end up, by not having anything in the middle because you didn't prepare or plan ahead of time, you then end up overeating, and it kind of just doesn't work in your favor. All right, so we went over what a snack is, what a healthy snack is, what's not a snack or not a healthy snack. I gave you some suggestions on how to prepare and plan ahead of time. Now, what are some examples? So I'm going to put this on my blog, so www.tipswithtoni.com. It will be posted tomorrow with the video included. I might even do it tonight. I've upgraded my website to the business plan, which means I can now have videos on what used to be a written blog post. It's now going to be video based. And as you guys know, so much rather prefer videos. I so much rather prefer talking into my little microphone, which you can't see here. But for my podcast, I think I can get my point across a lot better than if I were to write an article and read it. However, I will still provide that for you who like to read, and if you want something to go back to. So Hope Apples and PB is an approved snack because that's my fave. Totally is an approved snack. So some approved snacks are going to be apples and peanut butter. I love peanut butter on everything, but obviously also if you're doing a weight management program, you want to be mindful of your portion. So you want to stick to about 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, closer to the 1 tablespoon side. Pair that with, you could do that with celery, you can do that with carrots, you can do it with apples, you can put it on whole grain toast, 1 slice of whole grain toast, or a brown rice cake, or plain rice cake is even fine because at least the nut butter has some fiber there, and a little bit of healthy fat. You can do, and other than peanut butter, you can do almond butter, sunflower seed butter. There's so many different nut butters now. Those are completely fine. A 1/4 cup of nuts is completely fine. Veggies with hummus or veggies with guacamole is a great snack. So these are good if you have either refrigeration or you have, once again, something that you're going to have, maybe, you leave your house and it's outside of the refrigerator for like up to no more than 4 hours for sure, but up to 2 hours to be extra safe, but definitely up to 4 hours and you're going to eat it. Completely fine to have some of those things like the hard-boiled egg, maybe a yogurt, cottage cheese with some fresh fruit, stuff like that, cheese stick, with maybe like a little bit of the 100-calorie almond packs. Those are great. But if you don't have refrigeration, the RX bars are really great, and Kind bars are really great for snacking. They're very simple ingredients, not a ton of added sugar. All the sugar is through natural sources. But either way, it's a controlled portion amount that I really enjoy. So RX bars and Kind bars are good if you're not going to have access to like a refrigerator or anything like that. Once again, this is going up onto Nougat bars. The Nougat bar slim. So Nougat bars, they have a few different varieties. So someone on my Instagram. So once again, Instagram followers, thank you so much for watching, but I'm looking at my Facebook screen because this is where I record and download and put it on my page later. So PB2 is good if you are trying to modify how much, but the thing about, so 2 different things. So PB2 I want to address because I saw that one first. PB2 is like a powdered peanut butter. What it's doing is it's removing some of the fat. You mix it with water, and then but it does have a little bit more carbohydrates, more sugar. So it really depends on the goal For diabetics, they're better off with the natural peanut butter, but either way, we want to keep it portioned. The great thing about PB2 is you can add a little bit more of it without overgoing your calorie needs, so it depends on what the goal is. And I know peanut butter is one of those foods that are really hard to stick within that 1 to 2 tablespoon portion, so the PB2 might be a nice benefit or a nice alternative. So it really is dependent on the person. The Nugo bars are great. So they have the vegan protein bar. So yeah, those aren't bad. Those aren't bad. I can't remember. I think the calories are less than 250. It also depends, like, post-workout. But yeah, Nugo has like a few different line of different options. So Nugo has, the Nugo Slims are good for diabetics. The Nugo bars that you're talking about are probably good if you're just like a generally like healthy, active individual. That would be completely fine. And your handle has fit in it, so I'm going to assume that you're athletic. I can't read what you wrote. Sorry. I'm going to address your questions after, I promise. Okay, great. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. If there are any questions, feel free to ask, and I will address them either on this call, probably not though, because I'm trying to keep them to less than 30 minutes. But I will definitely read. If you want to ask any questions, comment below, and I will definitely get back to you with a response. You can always send me an email to tipswithtoni@gmail.com. That's Toni with an I. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to coming back to you guys next Tuesday. Topic has yet to be decided, so I am taking any suggestions or things that you would like me to talk about. And I also always offer a free 20-minute assessment call to those who watch this to the very end, but I only will accept the first 3 people who contact me, because that's really all I have time for. And I want to be able to provide quality assistance to you all. So if you are interested in a 20-minute assessment call with me for my individual counseling sessions, send me an email to tipswithtoni@gmail.com with the keyword popcorn. Get it for snacking? All right. So once again, thank you. Have a great evening and have a great night, and talk to you guys soon. Bye.